If you look on the streets today, there's all types of men that will look and prey on innocent children.
Even in Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Children barely into their teens, lured from their families, targeted so someone else can make money. Child sex slavery happening here to our kids in our own neighborhoods.
This is important, even if you know and love a child who has never tried to run away. KXAN investigator Robert Maxwell took an in-depth look at this problem.
Shannon, Robert, we checked local case files and we found girls as young as 9 have recently been lured from places like a public park in North Travis County, a library near downtown Austin, even a school in Leander. And we met a Travis County girl who was lucky to have made it back home. She and her mom agreed to sit down and share their story.
I think the worst part was when we found her and I realized what had happened. The drugs, the alcohol, the entire picture. I didn't want to get out of bed for days.
A terrifying journey last March lasted several long weeks. For this Travis County mother of a 14-year-old, whom we'll call Darcy, it began innocently enough.
When she left, it was, I believe there was a school dance. I thought she was with friends, and I did not think that she would go further away. But as the days went on, we were putting internet messages out. We were putting search parties together. We were going door to door.
Darcy says a woman and her boyfriend approached her with promises that fit right in with this teen's experiment with freedom.
The couple told me, "We have clothes for you, we have food. You can come rest. We have a bed for you. You can come and relax."
Darcy had run away before, a typical teen pushing back against the rules at home. But she always returned on her own. This time, though, within days, this 8th grader and another teen she met along the way would be anything but free.
They said that they have a big house and that they can take care of us.
That place to relax, this rented house in rural Travis County, quickly turned into a den of marijuana and pills.
They gave me a weird-looking pill. I took it, and I didn't care.
As the days folded together, Darcy recalls her childhood was quickly lost to an adult who had promised her an escape.
He said, you're really young and you don't look your age. And I said, really? Because I'm really 14. And he put his hand on my thigh. He slept with a 15-year-old. Then he slept with me. And who knows who else he slept with.
We're going to head straight out there. I want you to get the eyes on in the parking lot.
For police investigators with Austin's Human Trafficking Unit, Darcy's story is all too familiar.
The reality is that the majority of the cases that we have here in Austin that our unit's working actually involve juveniles from right here in the Central Texas area or that have been brought from other areas.
There's a name for it: child sex trafficking, a form of modern-day slavery. Police say it's an often misunderstood crime with the youngest of victims.
We hear that from all kinds of people that say, well, she's 15, she's made that choice for herself. But as a society, we've decided that it's not appropriate for adults to have sex with minors, and we have specific laws that address that.
In 2010, the Texas Supreme Court decriminalized children caught up in prostitution. The laws that followed focused on protecting runaways rather than prosecuting them.
Today in Texas, prosecutors and juvenile court justices now have more latitude than ever to help guide child sex trafficking survivors into trauma therapy and other programs. They also now have the legal ability to detain those same young survivors at justice centers like this, even though they may not have been criminally charged. It's an attempt to keep them from running back to their abusers, who in many cases can offer a twisted kind of love.
There's a real tension that the judges feel, I think, between holding a kid who is obviously scared, upset, wants to be out in the free, and then, letting them be where they want to go, which could be potentially very dangerous. And we're still trying to strike that balance, I think.
Darcy is one of the ones who made it back home.
I think that we can thank God for her coming home. because of the rescue.
Travis County deputies working an anti-drug operation last spring at the house Darcy had been brought to found her. Her mom, Elizabeth, says the lucky break ended a 3-week-long odyssey for her young daughter, who at first didn't want to return home.
She didn't seem like herself at all. She was unclean and undressed, and not at all how I had ever seen her before.
I wish it didn't happen. When I left this house, I was a virgin. But then when I came back, I'd slept with many men. And I wish that did not happen.
This fall has brought a new chapter. Darcy is back in school, as well as therapy, as she works to trust adults again. But perhaps most important, she's learning simply to be a young person again, experiencing life and appreciating the meaning of family.
So what does home mean to you now?
Safe place. Somewhere that I know I can always come back to.
And Mom?
She'll always be there for me.
Now, in Darcy's case, 2 men, including the one she says picked her up that day, remain in jail awaiting trial on charges of sex assault of a child. If convicted, Robert and Shannon, they could face up to 20 years in prison.
This is just shocking and incredible that you actually talked to somebody who survived that.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, she's been doing okay. But I just found out this morning that on Monday, Darcy ran away again. Her mom hasn't seen her. There's a detective on the case tonight. Just scary all around. If you thought Darcy's story was gripping, by the way, tonight at 10 here on KXAN, we're going to be talking to another sex trafficking survivor, this person who was involved in this dark world for years. Robert. Shannon.
All right, Robert, thank you very much. So what does a victim of this kind of crime look like? A new Attorney General's guidebook says at school you might see sudden changes in their grades and interests. They might resist your touch or avoid eye contact. There could be scars or bruises they cannot explain, and they might show signs of real depression, fear, or acting out. Online right now, we have posted resources about how to talk to your child and how to report suspected sex slavery. Just search for this story on the investigative page of KXAN.com.